What's up guys, Shrimp TCG here with episode number 1 of Riftbound Recap. This is a series I will be doing on this channel, going through what happened in Riftbound in the last couple of weeks. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, as there will be a lot more of this to come. With that being said, let's get started as we have a lot of things to cover. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the Riftbound Origins launch learnings. One thing I really appreciate about Riot is their communication with their player base. They also do this, for example, in TFT, where at the end of a set, they will show what they learn and how it will help them improve moving forward. They address quite a few things in this post. Firstly, they thank everyone for playing and say how happy they are with the amount of people interested in the game itself. Then they also address some of the issues that came with the launch. For example, the rarity distribution in single packs, where there were a lot of issues that people didn't receive their rare cards in their rare card slot. They also give you a little form you can fill to get the card you didn't receive. Apparently, this didn't affect actual booster boxes, and personally, I didn't really see this in any of the product that me or my friends opened. However, if you are affected by it, you should really consider filling the form that they provided. They then also addressed the bad cut on some of the cards. A lot of the cards came out of their boosters almost as if they were already played with, or the cut was so bad that it was very noticeable they used a dull blade on their card sheets. There were instances, for example, where the Lux cards from Proving Grounds came almost cut in half, making it completely unplayable. But it is also great that they provide you a way where you can replace the cards by emailing them and then get the cards that you actually paid for to not have them in an unplayable state. Then they address the shipping delays for their pre-orders and how they intend to improve on that department, and also addressing how happy they are with us exceeding all of their expectations when it came to their demand, meaning they will be printing more and more product. But they do have to realize this might be a thing that happens only with the first set, as launch is going to be very hyped up, which means they're going to have to be very careful with future sets to not overprint them, as we don't know if they're going to be as successful, meaning they're going to be much harder to sell. Anyway, I'm really happy they're doing these types of posts, and I cannot wait to see how it's going to get implemented. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the judge exams you're able to take online as of this week. You're now able to apply to become a level 1 certified judge, meaning if you're interested in something like that, you're able to take an online exam and get your certificate that way. After that, you will get invited to their official Riftbound Judge Discord server. This is especially important as we have our first big regionals coming in less than 3 weeks in Houston, which means there is also the possibility of them allowing you to take an in-person exam to become a level 2 or a so-called head judge. However, this is just my personal speculation for the time being, and it is entirely possible that such exams won't be present for the first few months of the game's release. If you wish to become a judge, please take a thorough read of the rulings, especially the tournament rulebook, as it can differ from other TCGs if you have experience in those departments. I am very excited for Riot already giving us the opportunity to become a judge so early in the game's life. With that being said, let's move on to the most important thing that happened in the previous week. Alright, so the biggest thing that happened in Riftbound in the previous week is definitely the reveals of the new cards from the upcoming set, Spirit Forged. The set will release in early December in China and sometime in February for the rest of the world. Personally, I am extremely excited about a lot of these new cards. Draven and Irelia specifically appear to be quite good and have a ton of potential to become amazing decks. This is especially exciting as the meta is quite stale at the moment, with Kai'Sa and Master Yi being very obviously dominant in the current format. They also revealed the new equipment mechanic, which we don't really know a ton about, except that it appears to be attached exclusively to gears. We will have to wait and see to get more information about the mechanic in the future, which will help us understand how important it will be in the meta. I have to say the new cards look absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan of the Lucian and Draven alt arts they already chose to show us for now, and I personally cannot wait to see how some of the showcase legends will look like. Riot announced they will also be updating the rulebook with every new set release, which of course is very important, specifically if you want to introduce new mechanics to the game so that there won't be any confusion upon their releases. Personally, I also think they will reveal a big portion of the set at the Houston Regionals, as that is happening less than a week before the set releases in China. I also have to tell you that this week I will be posting a tier list of all the new cards that have been revealed so far, given the information that we currently have and how they're going to implement in the meta. So if you are interested in something like that, again, please consider subscribing so that you will see when it gets posted. Okay, now I want to take some time to check the meta that is currently present post the Chinese National Championship. China obviously still has a big discrepancy between the top 2 decks being Kai'Sa and Master Yi and the rest of the options. Stage 2 week 1 had a top 8 distribution with almost 40% being given to Kai'Sa and 25% being given to Master Yi. This is followed by Victor with a decent 12.5% appearance in top cuts. I personally think that decks such as Teemo and Annie are still quite underrated, and I feel like those decks are also very good options to look at for the future. We will have to wait and see how the Houston regionals will play out to understand the meta more for us, but I don't expect it to look a lot different from what we see going on in China. There was also a $2,000 tournament held by Rare Hunters that ended up having 42 participants, with Kai'Sa taking 3 of the top 4 placements and only a single Ahri making a 3rd place appearance. Congratulations to everyone who did well at that event, and a special congratulations to Lucas for winning the tournament with his Kai'Sa build. Then at the end of the week, Runes and Rift also held a tournament with, again, Kai'Sa winning the entire event and not a single Master Yi making top 8. There were, however, Volibear and Victor decks that both went undefeated in the Swiss rounds, as well as a Lux actually making one of its few top 8 appearances. Congratulations to everyone that managed to top in this event, and again, huge congratulations to the winner. Then we also saw the PPG Orlando tournament with Ahri actually winning the entire thing. This wasn't a huge tournament, hosting only 19 players, however, it's still really cool to see that other decks than Kai'Sa or Yi are able to come out on top. Again, a huge congratulations to the winner of this event. The last thing I wanted to address is something that happened in regards to people being banned. Specifically, there was a League of Legends player that got cross-platform banned, meaning they didn't only get their account suspended, but are entirely banned from having a Riot account in the first place, even if it would be to play other games. This is something that even us Riftbound players need to take into consideration, as an active Riot account is needed in order to participate in all types of tournaments. Riot states in their terms of use that problematic behavior in one game may result in penalties across all of their games. I just wanted to talk about this, as toxicity is not something that's present exclusively online, and we should all aim to not be toxic. Most players are playing the game to have fun, and even if you want to take it very seriously, there is such a thing as having a healthy competitive mindset that won't make people have a negative opinion about you. If you believe someone is behaving poorly when you're playing against them, please don't hesitate to call a judge, as it is important to keep the experience of the game as enjoyable as possible for everybody involved. Cross-platform banning is a thing and could impact your ability to play Riftbound, so don't be toxic in games. People are there to have fun, like I said, and stick to healthy competition, especially at the local scene. Anyways guys, that is going to be it for this week's episode of Riftbound Recap. I hope you guys enjoy this type of content, as I really want to do more videos like this one. Just talking about everything that happened in the past few weeks, it feels great to have some sense of where the game is standing at currently. If you did enjoy the video, please again consider subscribing to the channel as well as leaving a like. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all very soon.